What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Pin to Gas podcast that's brought to you by Bison. So, do you guys do track days? Are you a road racer? Are you a guy that just likes to ride on the street that wants a suit? Look no further than Bison. Don't buy an off the rack suit. When you get a full custom, any colors, any logos you want from Bison, you can get the chest protector, you can get the undersuit, you can get the gloves, you can get the hats, you can get sweatshirts, you can even get t-shirts made for your company. They are some of the best people you're ever going to meet in your life. Bison is just, listen, this is all I'm going to say. Go to Bison, use the discount code PINTOGAS 2024, receive 10% off everything at Bison. You will send me a message. I promise me you will thank me later. But guys, listen, it's an absolute honor to sit down with my man, Easy Davis. Bro, what is up?
Howdy, boss. Yeah, I just want to start off by saying, big thanks to Bison. They've been supporters and advocates of my riding and racing. I haven't worn their products, but man, I've been at the track with their sage tailoring, helping me out, hooking me up with all this stuff. Crashing one night, painting it, doing arts and crafts throughout the night. Rob and Tasha have really been a great supporter of the industry. So it's great having them aboard.
Listen, nothing but love. It's just like I had this conversation when I was in America. I was like, look, dude, even if you don't ride in a Bison and you're not sponsored or an ambassador or something for them, right? And you're out there at the track and you're in an Alpine Star, Revit, whatever it is, and something happens, you can go to them and they'll take care of you. But I guarantee you can't take your Bison to Revit or Alpine Star and get them to fix it because they're just gonna laugh you straight out the door, right? So listen, that's what I mean. People, when they're the best in the industry, best in the business, the products is awesome. Yes, I'm an ambassador, but that just happened. I go back and listen to all my episodes. I've been talking about Bison since day one, since I actually met him. Easy to be honest with you. It's people like that, and they're always there, and they take care of everybody and show everybody nothing but love. Is, man, it's hard to find people like that. And those are the people that I want to back their products up and be part of their life and their journey and help them succeed too as well. So
absolutely.
Let's go. But listen, enough about that, Easy. I want to get into it, man. Tell me the journey from the very beginning. How did you get into motorcycles to begin with?
Man, I think I got to give credit to my grandfather. He sent me a picture the other day, 6 months old, on his lap. Dude's got long hair, long beard. I come from a old school kind of family, not coming from much. And my grandfather was always just running me around on pit bikes and mini bikes. And then at the age of like 2.5, I was running around on the bicycle with no training wheels. 3, I was riding, could ride for myself. And then for like my 5th birthday, Dad got me a dirt bike, and then we were getting stuff. And we didn't get into the racing scene until we were 12 or so. My dad was doing some track days. Born and raised out of Rhode Island, so we were going up to Loudon, New Hampshire Motorsports Park, and then when New Jersey opened up, we ended up going down there, and New Jersey Mini GP had some mini bikes going, and I was always the kid running around on the bicycles and scooters, and I happened to see them over there. Sure enough, pulled my dad aside and said, hey, I think I really want to try that. I want to do the same thing you're doing. And sure enough, next week he went out, bought me a bike, and we were racing the week after that. And the rest is history, man. It was bit by the bug, and I knew what I wanted to do from then.
Yeah, it's always amazing to hear how people got into it. My dad was a fighter pilot, right? So him and his buddies used to ride. My mom said I couldn't have a bike, so my dad never, but we moved all the time, right? I kind of got it as a little kid, but didn't understand, right? But so me, what I did is I met friends that had motorcycles. Whatever base we went to, the kid, I don't care if he was 4 or 5 years older than me. Hey, I'm Simcoe. Like, let's ride, right? Let's do it. So I still grew up riding my friends' motorcycles, and the journey. You know what I love about what you do and your dad and everybody involved, man. I love the familyness of the sport. I love the dad and the son and the mom or the grandpa going to the racetrack, supporting front tire. A lot of people don't realize what it takes when you go to the track. And track days are different than actually racing in, like, let's say Moto America, right?
Yeah.
because you have a strict schedule. Once you reach that Moto America level, everything's like military time, right? Like,
Limited time, it's very short track time. You have to make everything count. Track days, you get a freeing time to just go out and ride, enjoy your 20 minutes. All you can come in, it's when you're out racing, it's like every second, every moment counts. So it's cool. Speaking of the family oriented stuff, my parents still ride. We actually just bought some property down in Daytona, about 8 miles outside of the speedway. And, just so my parents love the warm weather. They want to stay riding, want to keep going. My mom's this 4'10" little thing, and she's you got to lower her bikes and stuff, but still practicing the same stuff that we do when we're going into our favorite corner. And it's cool to be able to learn the differences of each motorcycle, but really figure out what it takes to ride them proficiently. And it's cool to share that knowledge, keep my family safe, keep it all growing, because I've looked up to the racing families, the Haydens, the Wymans, these people who are all in. It takes everything, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, like the whole family, to be a part of it and make it succeed. So it's cool to see that. I have very supportive family, parents who are, always pushing me to be better. So it's cool to see that and be a part of it.
It is, it's back to grassroots racing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how everybody starts, and then at some point it becomes serious. Everybody's journey going up, there's a certain point to where it starts to become, serious. But yeah, that whole commodity and just the whole family. But once you go from a track day junkie to I'm gonna get my license, yeah, I'm gonna go Moto America, and then you're like, yeah, strict schedule, times you can get your tire changed, times you can't. I mean, the whole hot pit, cold pit, setting everything up, taking everything down, blah 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 blah. It's a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into, but it's not work, right? Easy. Let's just be honest. To us, it's not work, but
It's not. Yes, does it take a lot of work to be, doing this kind of stuff, to keep staying relevant, to be present into this stuff? It takes everything you got. But at the end of the day, and it goes back to that saying, if you love what you do, you're never working a day in your life. So I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing, but I don't think, a lot of people see the hard work that has to go into it. They don't understand that I travel 300 days a year, living out of the suitcase, sleeping on different people's couches and all this stuff just to make this dream relevant, or what it's taken, like, oh, you finally made it. Yeah, 10 years later, after, wondering if I can eat tomorrow, kind of deal.
right.
So
Yeah, it comes to a point you're like, dude, I'm tired of eating top ramen. Like, I
yeah,
gotta get away from top ramen, right? Like, yeah, I eat bananas, but that top ramen, yeah, I feel you. Listen, dude, we got Skip Chance in the house. Skip's an absolute legend. He's
sure
got
is.
the dude. He's got the best alignment tool. He actually sent me one, and I use it all the time.
I got two in my toolbox.
Yeah, nice, man. Look, he says easy, dude. That's
Yeah, buddy.
awesome. Yeah, Skip, dude, holla at me, man. But yeah, dude, listen, easy. It's that whole man, the whole commodity in the motorcycles it's different than anything else, right? The whole not just the sport, but the people. Like, it mean you are at a track day, and I'm like, hey man, I need this rear sprocket. You got it? Yeah, absolutely, I do, right? And you'd give it to me. Same thing with me. Even though I didn't know you, we've never talked before, we're gonna help each other out, right? I you don't get that to me, at least, in any other sports, right? Um,
No, and it's pretty tough and pretty competitive, and even in like the simple sport of basketball, it's or something baseball. Everyone's competing against each other, never wanting to. Oh, hey, you can't use my bat. This is my specific glove, or these are my routines. You need to figure something out on your own. And I
right,
think it's this art that is something that is not really something that can be perfected, but something that we're always all chasing to and always trying to figure more stuff out. So the more people that we have on it, the more data we collect, the more stuff we're finding out, the more ways we can do this, because there's multiple ways to skin a cat, and there's different ways to ride a bike. But there's some absolutes that we'll never do, but there's a lot of variances into what we can do to make the same result. So it's cool to see that, and cool to listen to other people's stuff. Working with the school, it's allowed me to take a whole different outside approach is taking this one little thing and trying to look at it from all different aspects to really make sure that whoever's trying to understand it gets that full form
Yeah,
of
absolutely. You're right, right? And it's like, so this is the best way I can describe it is man, I was a diehard Rossi fan, right? Rossi's the GOAT. Let's just keep it honest. The best, greatest thing that's ever happened to two wheels.
we
Of
call
course.
him our Lord and Savior at the school.
Okay, well, look, check it out. So I named my son Hayden Rossi after Nikki Hayden and Valentina Rossi.
Come
So
on.
my son's name is Hayden Rossi. So yeah, I got Rossi tattoo. But anyway, um, when he was racing, a diehard fan, him and Hayden, right? After he retired, and I find it to where I'm just a fan. Like I don't have a favorite in MotoGP anymore, right?
Mhm.
I got favorites at like the TT race. Okay. But in all other forms of racing, I don't have favorites. I take it back. I do. And they're all my friends that race, whether it's in BSB, Moto America, ASBK, the TT. Those are all my favorite racers and riders, right? Because I'd rather easy come up to you and give you the 30, 40, $50 or whatever it is for a t-shirt or a hat or whatever and support you than give the money to Pedro Acosta or Mark Marquez because they've been there, done that, got the millions of dollars and all that good stuff, right? Plus, I know you on a personal level, so it brings a whole new element to it, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
look, my buddy Aaron, dude, he gives me shit. He's like, everyone's your favorite. Listen, it is, man. Everybody is. It's in my position, I can't just come out and be like, Easy Davis is my favorite racer in the world, right? It's all my other friends that race, it would be unfair to them.
And I
Y-
think it goes back to it's like even all our buddies are truly our favorite friends, our favorite racers that we're rooting for, and it even comes down to the fact of when you get to race them, yeah, you're still rooting for them, but you want to beat them at a certain point. You're always we all have this competitive aspect to us, and it's cool to work with them, but it's also cool to race against them and work against them, and then take all that information and it's cool to see the battles and the duels that we're having, and some of the rivalries that are even still out there. The Pecco and Martin stuff is great, and it's cool that you say that you're becoming a fan because I think we all were leaning heavily on one side when Rossi was in there, but now it's like you have to admire what every rider's doing. It's everyone's so much closer, the racing's so much better. It's like you're almost wishing for the best person to win. And it goes back to when we're rooting for our friends. It's like, yes, I like these people, and if even if they're competing against each other, it's like, may the best man win, may the smartest person win that day for
Yeah.
who fought the hardest, who outsmarted the competition. So
Yeah, I always tell all my friends, especially when I go to Moto America or I'm texting them in BSB, but before the weekend comes up, look, man, I love all my friends that race, right? And I cheer for every single one of you. And I hope every single one of you win today or this weekend, whether it's a Saturday or Sunday. But I know that's not going to happen, right? And not everybody's going to win. There's only one first place and second, third. But I still wish the best for you, and I wish you win, right? So I'm cheering just as much for you, whether you're in 13th place or first place. I'm still rooting for you just as hard, even if you're racing in the same class. I mean,
yeah,
that's just
being a supporter of the sport, I think you understand all the work that goes into it, and all that stuff. So you admire what people do. I think trying to get some of the outward appearance onto the sport and understanding all the stuff that goes into it. I think it's a lot of people sometimes just see us going around in circles and always going through a corner and stuff. And it's, I compete a lot in the N2 Weir 4 hour endurance stuff. And someone's like, man, 4 hours of racing? How can you, even keep yourself occupied? And it's just like next thing you know, the race starts, and after that it seems like the race is over because so much is happening. And if you find all the tiny little nuances of all this stuff in each lap, and certain places the longest lap is 2 minutes, a lot of stuff happens in 2 minutes. So having a true essence of time, figuring out where things go, how to utilize your time and make it matter that much more in those moments is just like something that I feel most people don't see, but I think it's something that light can be shed upon, where it's hey, we're so calculated at a certain point that it's all this stuff comes down to even the tens and hundreds of thousands that we're chasing for.
No, yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think I think, man, if people would actually know all the hard work that everybody puts in. I got buddies that, all my junior cup friends, Isaac Woodworth, right? And his dad, Curtis, absolutely amazing people. They live in Florida where you are, part of SFL Mini GP, right? Which I'm a
Oh,
huge supporter of. Yeah. So they don't see the 12, 14-hour drives. They don't see all the hard work that goes in trying to find sponsorship, and his dad working on the bike all the time with a group of small friends, right? They're
mhm,
so awesome people. And then leaving Sunday right after the race, driving that 12, 14 hours. Because guess
right
what? We got to be
back.
back on work on Monday. We ain't
Oh,
skipping this day. So yeah, there's so much that goes into it. It's such a beautiful thing to see and watch, right? And one question I get all the time, and I'm sure you probably do too, is do you get paid to do this? And I laugh. I'm like, no, I consider myself like a road racer. I pay to do this shit. I don't get paid to do it, right? It's that's the dream, but yeah, no, not at all.
yeah, and it's the whole racing part right now. There's very few people getting paid in the industry. The bagger class has brought more money to it, more light, more sponsorships to our industry, which is great to see. Working with Kyle Wyman at the Champ School, watching him from building his own race team to the stuff that he's had to go through to now being a factory rider, being one of those guys that are showing up and just having to do the work instead of thinking about, hey, do I have enough money on my credit card to make it out of the weekend? Yeah, I got enough to get through it, but how am I getting home? Kind of deal. So it's cool to see that kind of stuff, and the what we put into it's what we get out of it. And it's, going back to that 12-hour drive, it's you can't sacrifice that Monday because you got to wait for a trip that's coming up in 3 weeks where you got to drive to Washington. You need those days to take off. So it's all about, really making everything count. And it's cool to see, working with the SFL mini group, meeting Isaac and the boys and the gang recently, getting to ride with them in the rain at Jennings and watching the kids grow. It's truly great to see that, because that's, and knowing and having an understanding of what the kids are going through. My parents, we started chipping in. They started chipping into their retirement fund just to give me a shot, just to push me out. Hey, you're getting close, and yeah, right. That's something that I can't thank my parents enough. Hey, and if the kids are watching this, make sure you're taking out the trash. Make sure you're doing the dishes. Make sure you're washing mom and dad's car. They don't have to ask you. Just do it. Right? It's kind of those things, and it's, if you have a support team like that, you have to thank the people that are helping you, and have to thank and truly be thankful for what they're doing, because we're not entitled to anything. These people don't have to do anything. I
Right.
just got off the phone with a family today, some New Jersey kids that are racing, and it's the same thing. Dad's like, I'm not going to let my boys go racing if they're not getting good grades. And that was something that was said a couple years ago. Guess what? The boys are on honor rolls. They're, varsity student players. Like, the drive and hunger that this sport will bring, I think it's something unmatched, because there's nothing like motorcycle riding. There's nothing like putting on your helmet, tuning out the rest of the world, and just riding, my friend.
At 110%. Cannot disagree with anything you just said. It is. It's look, man, we're 20 minutes into this, man. We barely even talked about your journey a little bit, right? I told you it's gonna go by fast, and there's so much to
Yep.
talk about, and it's so much fun to do, man. But yeah, it's you're right. There's nothing like it. I tell people, like, when my grandma passed away, that's how I dealt with it. Like, I immediately was like, I'm going riding. And everybody's like, no, don't, you're blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, y'all don't understand. This is the only thing that relieves me no matter what I'm going through, right? I just use that as an example because it's an extreme example, right? But I needed that. And once I got on my bike and I put my visor down, I actually forgot about it. That's how powerful it is. Like,
Mhm.
my mind was so clear and I forgot, right? And then of course when I stopped, the my journey ended, and yeah, it all come back. But but you can do that with anything, pertain that to anything in life when it comes to two wheels. There's people that get it, And there's people that don't get, like, to me, it's an absolute lifestyle. Like
Yep.
every time, listen, easy. My wife always says, don't you fucking have anything else to wear? Because every time I leave this house, it's Pendergast and Bison. Facts. 100%. I don't care if we're going out to eat at a restaurant, we're going to the mall, I'm going to wash my car. Anytime I leave these front doors, except for the work, it's Pendergast and Bison, right?
Sure.
And then, of course, during the weekend when my BSB boys are racing and I have some of their merch out, I hit them up on the phone. I'll take a picture and be like, let's go, stuff like that. Yeah. But it's, so listen, would you ever go over to BSB and race over there?
Man, I would love to have the opportunities. I've gotten to ride some world tracks now. I did Mugello last year with the European Racing School. The Champ School was partnering up with Liad Skate Tours with Cat McLeod, and
Yep.
I got to do a nice Italy tour. We did a Champ School out in Malaysia at Sepang. I I would love nothing more than to keep spreading my wings. I love world traveling. I love traveling in general, but seeing what the world has to offer is quite joyous to me. So I think I could compete if I'm given the right stuff and find the ways to do it. It would be something that I would absolutely love to get on. I met Peter Hickman at Daytona and actually had a wild night with Hickey after the 200, and man, we were talking about it, and seeing someone of that caliber and just how they function and how they put their focus on it. That's right. Dude's a legend, and I think I've worked Pikes Peak, I've helped and been a part of some of these road racing stuff. Good friends with Corey West and know Patricia pretty well, and watching them do that road racing stuff. I think I would really love to lean into some of the road racing aspect of it and get that stuff going. But yeah, the BSB boys are the closest thing to it, the rawest humans aboard. So
Facts. And listen, I met Peter Hickman too. He's an absolute amazing human being. Him and his dad, I actually went down to his shop, hung out with him at Peter Hickman Performance. He had a bike night because he just moved to a new building. And so real quick story. Okay, so I go to the UK. I told you this before I come on. Dave Neal, great podcast, Off Track, one of my favorites. You guys go check it out. So I show up. First thing I did is immediately like, who's close to me? Because I stayed in Louth. So Cadwell was literally like 5 miles down the street, I think. So shit, HRC UK is like 9 minutes away. Peter Hickman was like 11 minutes away. I'm like, so I call HRC. I'm like, hey man, my name's Simcoe. I'm from the United States. I would love to come down. I'm such a huge fan. They told me straight up, easy, absolutely not. Unless you do business with us, we're not open to the public. And I was like, not even for a picture?
no.
Not even for a picture. I was like, okay, thank you. Right. Hung up the phone, called down to Peter Hickman. Of course, he didn't answer the phone. I was like, hello, I'm Simcoe from America. I just got here, right? Peter's the man. I'd love to come down to your shop. Are you guys open to the public? And immediately, like, she was like, whoa, like, can you say that again? Because of my country accent, right? Well, to them
Yeah.
anyway. And I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. She starts giggling. She's like, yeah, absolutely. This is the address. Come on down. So I call a cab, go down there. Dude comes out as we pull in, and I open the door. He's like, are you the American that just called? I said, I am. My name's Simcoe. It's an absolute honor to meet you. I say that to everybody I meet. Not, hey, it's nice to meet you. It's an absolute honor to meet you, right? So he's like, blah, blah, blah. Your energy is just fucking crazy, dude. Because I was like, woo, let's go. They're not like that over there.
Yeah.
So, man, he didn't tell me when I walked in the door, guess who's standing there right next to his 136 mile an hour TT bike?
Mr. Hickey.
Bro, straight up, man. And I was just like, I didn't know what to say at first. I was like, this is what I said. Holy shit, is this even real? Right. And he just laughed. I was like, I can't believe I'm here looking at Peter Hickman. I was like, bro. And then, I turned to fanboy. So it's hard not to when you meet Peter Hickman. I mean, let's just be honest, right? It really is easy. It's like, I just want to get down and just bow down, like, bro. Super cool guy. actually got a photo of him actually doing some work. He's like, he's the girl behind the counter is like, you better take a picture of this right now because nobody ever sees Peter Hickman working. So I was like, snap. So I got a picture of Peter Hickman actually working. But anyway, had a great conversation, invited me back to bike night, and it was, yeah, I can't say enough, man. Absolutely. And what's so cool, man, is I'll send you some videos the whole weekend at BSB. Whenever I seen Peter Hickman, he would come by either when he was on a scooter through the paddock, wherever he come by and ride by and give me a big old fist bump. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Is this actually happening? And then of course I get on the grid for the Superbike race, and dude, I just had to send you the video. It was absolutely amazing. It was I just can't even explain it. Dude, I'm telling you, it was the best trip of my life.
Just the most
110%.
realest person, just down to earth.
Bro.
Never would have, like, if you did not know outside of the motorcycle community, you would have never guessed.
Not 100% you wouldn't. But listen, I want to take it back to Cat, right? And McLeod, his whole tours. I know Cat. I actually had him and Aliki on my podcast together. So I know his tours are cool, man. And listen, I'm jealous. You went to Magello, bro. That's like one of my favorite tracks in the world. So listen, Easy, you got to tell me about Magello, man. What was it actually like racing at riding Magello?
Man, it was such a cool experience. The whole thing is like you fly into a destination. So we flew into Rome. We got to hang out. That was the first time ever I land, and they got my name on a little clipboard or little iPad thing. Dude picks me up, brings me back to this awesome hotel. We go out, we get shuttled over to go pick up bikes. Next thing you know, we're riding bikes through the Tuscany hillsides, stopping at a monastery for 2 nights. We stopped at an olive oil resort that was outside of Magello. We stayed there for 3 days, up in the mountainsides, and we were riding our bikes to the track every day. Dude, the road to the hotel or resort or whatever was just this switchback mountainous road. So, and then we're looking down into the valley, like you can kind of see Magello off to the side, like unreal. And then you get to Magello and you're coming through this little town, and next thing you know, it's just this mega dome thing that opens up with a big old red Magello helmet. Next thing you know, you're at Magello, mountains and everything in the background. And it was it was cool to be a rider again and not have to go work and not have to go do that stuff and get to go ride for myself. So I upgraded to the slick package on a brand new 2023 BMW. I think we were running Meshler slicks, and they were great. I ended up going through 2 sets just because I was like, I'm getting a ride and I'm going to just twist the gas. And the front straightaway was absolutely out of control. I got to work with Troy Corsa, and he was, 2-time world champ, telling me things and showing me the ways, and I learned a bunch from him. And it was cool to actually go sit and ride and listen to a world champ and all his knowledge that he has. Magello was one of the places that he went and left Australia to go train and ride, so he knew it like the back of his hand. It's just some of the reference markers and all this stuff. And next thing you know, I was the fastest person at the school. It was cool. No one could film me at the end of 2 days at the school, and it was cool just to go work on myself and apply the stuff that they were telling me. And it was cool to take even more information and add it to my toolbox of stuff to apply. And then, man, yeah, Magello is unmatched. It's like 60 feet wide, the smoothest track you'll ever ride, elevation out the wazoo. It is absolutely in his last session, he told us just don't go fast, just go back and sit and enjoy. And those were probably some of the most joyful laps I did, seeing the scenery, seeing all the corner workers in the orange jumpsuits who are so happy to have people on motorcycles hanging out and being there. And everyone's so motorcycle oriented. You get off the bikes, everyone's having smokes and drinking espressos, and just, it was the real deal. And then there's actually a racing program there, so you're looking at the other guys and how they're living their scene and how they're taking their track days and how they're wanting to focus on their riding. So it was truly an unmatched experience. And yeah, Magello was one of those places that has been an ideal track or been my dream track to go ride since a kid. I'm part Italian, so and it's like I got to eat pasta every day and drink the best wine and all that stuff. So it was kind of like truly the best experience. And then when I went, I decided to stay for an extra 2.5 weeks and got an Airbnb down on the water. And then I ended up renting this room from this lady who was from Tunisia, making me Tunisian dishes for like
Bro.
50 euros for a week and a half. And it was just the experience alone was unmatched. The track just made it that much better. But you're asking some of those things that I like to do. I like to travel. I like to eat. I like to see new places. And that trip just had everything that I needed. Maybe if there was some mountains and some snowboarding or something that I could get into, that would be like the perfect trip. But dude, it was something that I will forever hold high in my memory bank.
Listen, same thing with Cadwell Park with me, right? It was, and you know what's, I couldn't imagine. So Magello, I already said this is one of my top favorite tracks. Cadwell is my favorite, but what tripped me out about Cadwell, it's literally this wide. Like I walked up there, I was like, "Holy shit, you got to be kidding me right now!" It's this wide. I tell everybody that and probably think I'm bullshitting, but go out there and go see it. It's this wide, and you're gonna call me and you're gonna be like, "You wasn't lying." It's literally, it's
And then it's covered by walls everywhere, and then
bro,
as they would
it's
call furniture.
right, and it would. I consider it a proper race circuit and a little bit of the TT mix because down the front straightaway and the whole back section, even though the track's skinny, it's a proper over the hills, blind crest, blind turns, yada yada yada. And then as soon as you come over one of the most beautiful things on the planet, the jump. Once you land on the jump and you're going through those back S's and that back section, yeah, literally there's tile walls within 5-6 feet from the actual 8 foot wide racetrack, right? It's so it's a little TT-esque, right? About it. And look, dude, we got Ty in the house. Ty's a good buddy of mine. What is up? He says, easy, baby. Ty's awesome. So how do you know Skip and Ty?
The racetrack, man, it's when you kind of live there, you kind of meet, you kind of run into people, and ties some of the West Crew guys that I met through the Apex crew, and next thing you know, he's racing some pro stuff, and I did. I worked for the Yamaha Champions Riding School, and they got me doing everything. I'm doing military schools, but they also got me doing demo programs where I go out to track days and allow people to ride our sport bikes. We have one of each bike, let them come. It's a lead follow session. So it's, I've done the track day circus where they bring multiple organizations out at UMC and get everyone going. And so, and then I go do different track days all over the country, and you start running into different people. Hey, I'm this guy. And then next thing you know, it's like, it's great. I leave my phone in the truck at the beginning of the day. You start and you never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to talk, where the conversations lead. And, it's cool just to be around people that are so into the same things. And then as we were talking, we can get lost and talk about whatever for however long that we want, just because there's so much fascination to it. So running into Ty, I think, was part of the West Coast deal, but Skip's part of the East Coast crew. I work with the N2 crew. I was one of their racers back in the day before Blake Davis and these guys. Shiloh was actually, I was Shiloh's first rider. So it's cool to see the progress that she's made. And, Skip's a N2 control rider, been part of the crew helping out, helps Jason Waters in the Weir Racing paddock. And, I've asked for help, they've asked for help. We've all kind of helped each other, and it's going back and forth of, going back to that story of the HRC story and how Hickey was. It's like everyone here, I can go get some parts and tools and stuff that I need from my competitors because everyone's wanting to compete against you and race with you. They don't want to just get it handed to them. So it's cool to see that everyone's so willing to help out. And, we've been racing against Skip now, and they're always willing to help and lend a hand. So it's cool to see. So yeah, Skip's a good dude for sure. And we're
Skip
tied.
is dude, yeah, at Ty and Skip. And listen, we was talking about Skip's tool, the alignment tool. I'm telling you guys right now, if you don't have one, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go hit Skip Chance up And trust me, you'll thank me and Easy later for sure, 110%. But we have a question from Ty. It's a great question too. He says, "Question: How much benefit do you think there is for someone that's already racing stock 1000 to do a school like YCRS or CCS?"
I think it's great. You know, even to this day, like I did the European Racing School last time. I'd love to take the California Superbike School and always expand my knowledge. You can always take information. I think a big thing when you're taking information is filtering out what works for you and what doesn't, taking the good and the bad, and kind of being able to filter that stuff out. But there's always something to go. And you look at all these top guys. Mark Marquez has a coach. If you want to bring it back to our racing paddock, Jake Gagne has a coach. Cam Bobier has a coach. You got Jake Zemke. You got Pridmore. These guys who are on the back end of it, helping and seeing. And sometimes your coach doesn't have to be as fast as you anymore, but they have to have a true understanding of all the stuff that's going on in the paddock. And um, the learning should never stop, right? The learning stops when you're dead. And that's something that we need to continue and really put some more focus on. And it's, you know, I think being able to shed some light onto ourselves. I had a guy today who's already racing. He's like, yeah, man, I think I just want to keep spending money going racing. And it's like, that time could be more useful until you have all the stuff that you need to focus on and have these true understandings. Then it's also a certain point where you have to outsource for certain things. Like, you can't be focusing on too much stuff. At a certain point, when you're trying to go race and go ride, you got to focus on the racing and the riding, and not the, oh, how am I doing getting to the track and all this stuff. Like, racing starts at home. All the prep work that you can do from sitting in the your home, figuring out the track maps, watching videos, and all this stuff, and asking the questions. I still personally have rider coaches, Robertino Pietri, who is a Moto 2, phenomenon, and one of these guys who ran the Italtrons team with Bastianini and won the Moto 2 championship. Like, this is a guy that I still admire to look up to. And then we go race the Weir Endurance thing, and this dude's leading the race in front of us all, just because it's like, it's one of those things where we're all trying to focus on these things. And I think we're all willing to take some information. I think I would love to say that our school's the best, focusing on what the best principles are, not trying to overcomplicate it, but still focusing on the things that matter the most. And it's a one-stop shop. It's not a multi-step program, but it's where we're giving you everything you got. All the tools are within yourself, how you're willing to dig upon them. It's not, you're never going to figure something out right then and there, but it gives you kind of this pathway to work on things, some weakness bias training, the things that need the area. If you're struggling in one area, figure that out. Put that top of your priority list and get that hammered out. Taking these conscious efforts and making them subconscious efforts, and being able to do them naturally and not have to think about them, and just getting them done. So the learning shouldn't stop. So you should always continue to put that focus onto it.
110%. Every time I went to a school, I never done a uh the YCRS school. I did CCS several times, but I always wanted to do a California Superbike school. And I actually had Gary that runs the California Superbike School in UK, him and his wife. Big shout out to them. So next time I go over there, they're like, yeah, just phone me up and come on down, and yeah, I'll be able to go there. So I'm excited. And you're right. It's all, everybody has their own toolbox, right? And you get all this information. It just depends on what tool you want to bring out, and how much you're willing to put into it is what you get out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I try to tell everybody, when it comes to two wheels, dude, leave your ego at home. Don't bring it here, because that's what's going to end up getting you hurt, right? You think, like a buddy of mine, he's like, I don't want a 400 first bike. Dude, you need to get a 400. I don't want a 400. I'm going to outgrow it. I'm going to be faster in it in a month. I'm like, okay, Mr. Valentino Rossi, let me stop you right here. Let me take you down to the track. I'll get my man Avery, the lap slayer, the junior cup champ. And yeah, y'all two can go out on track on a 400, and we'll see how fast, quote unquote, you really are, right? It'll blow your mind, open your mind. You need to, that's what I mean by leaving your ego at home, right? I find so too often people carry that ego around, especially in motorcycles. And that's what ends up getting them hurt.
at a certain point, and yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of the street guys that have that ego. I think you don't have that ego when you compete at a high enough level, and if you're
Yeah.
having that ego, go compete at a higher level, because it's one of those things where there's always going to be someone better. There's always going to be someone who can do it quicker, better, faster, in that stuff. So it's, having a little slice of humble pie is huge, and I think that's why I love the road racing community so much. It's a lot of these people are humble. They're willing to help, but they've also been through it. They understand the hardships that it takes. They know what it's like to go through it. So it's the people who are talking the most really aren't about it. So it's the people that are kind of just getting the job done and being about their business are the ones that are kind of succeeding a little bit more. The ones who are always, oh, look at this, look at me. It's tough to have true success when the focus isn't, or the energy isn't put into the right stuff.
Yeah, 110%. That's why I tell everybody, focus on proper body position. Dude, there's so much that goes into really riding fast. It's
Mm-hmm.
not simply just jumping on the bike and twisting the throttle and go. There's so much more involved in this. We got Dustin Richards up in the house. My
Oh
man, dude, he said, "What's up, mofo?" And then he says,
man,
Kodiak Donuts. So what's Kodiak Donuts, bro? You got to tell me now.
shit, dude, I don't even know.
I
You
love
never
it,
know with
dude.
Dustin, man. It's
I
good to
know.
hear from you, Dustin.
He's an absolute legend, dude. You're an absolute legend. Listen, man, look, we're coming up on we're 41 minutes into this already. I told you it's going to go by like.
Yeah.
There's so much more to talk about. So yeah, anyway. Uh, listen, this has been a lot of. I feel like me and you could just sit down and really just talk for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah,
Facts.
I was telling a friend earlier. It's just like I got onto a podcast. I did a Ducati Triumph dealership. My buddy opened up River's Edge Racing in Maumee, right outside of Toledo, Ohio, and there was the news cameras there and all this stuff. And we had a guy come in for a podcast, and next thing you know, he's like, "Yeah, man, it's going to be 10, 15 minutes." We ended up talking for like 2.5 hours. And we're like, dude, I think we got a lot of other stuff going on that we still have to do. So
Yeah.
it's crazy when you start talking about something that you're passionate about, what you love, when you devote everything to it. It's like, I don't think I could ever get sick of talking about it. So
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And listen, so Ty, he said, solid answer. I wanted to do it for a while. Just always work with either Hayes or Jason, which are absolute legends, right?
yep.
Let's just be honest. And y'all said, I got to get going. See you at Brainerd, easy. And hopefully you too, Chris. Listen, I'm trying everything I can to make it to Brainerd. If not Brainerd, I want to make mid Ohio. Because it's not that far from me. I think it's like 6 hours. It's not that far.
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of the Brainerd topic, I'll put it out there right now. We had a fun time at Barber, but unfortunately, the team and I we can't make it to Brainerd. We're registered for the race. Some financial stuff came up. It's cool that we're getting some light and stuff. I think we're trying to play the long game with this one, not just trying to burn the candle out and blow it up right away. So just trying to figure out our most efficient methods to go about it. So I'm wishing Ty and all the gang the best luck. Fast, speedy stuff. I know I'll miss you, buddy, but it's one of those things. We got some other obligations. We have the endurance this weekend down at CMP Kershaw, South Carolina. Got a lot of stuff to focus on. So I'd love to be out there, but I think it's good. It'll be good for me to take a little bit of seat time, do some development. Down at Brainerd was our maiden voyage. First time I seen the bike. The body work had showed up at the track. Like the bike had shown up at the track. Like first time ever riding it and stuff. And so it was a great experience for what we had and what we were doing. But we're all competitors at the end of the day. And a P16 and a P15 is cool, but that's not where we want to be. I've raced against the other competitors. I've been a lot closer to them, taking some of this time to do a little bit more development work into the package into the program, getting everything more situated for further success is kind of the goal where we're at right now.
Facts. It's everybody knows in this sport it revolves around one thing and one thing only.
Money, man.
Facts, 110%. They don't give a shit if you're Valentina Rossi. If you ain't bringing 85 grand, don't even talk to me. You go down there and talk to them, right? It's one of those, and that's the truth of it. People think I'm crazy when I say that. I'm like, okay, go, yeah, and that's a fact. So Dustin says, stand on the corner, don't talk about it, be about it. LOL, miss you. Love it, man. I love it. And then he says, "Sheesh, he went away too professional. Sorry, everyone." That's good stuff. So listen, man. I know I said I'm only going to keep you an hour. I lied. I'm going to keep you on for maybe just a little bit longer because there's other things I want to talk about. But how did you get up with TBEX? Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so we I was working at Champ School down in Homestead, and we had this guy who had some money that he had and wanted to share some of it, and wanted to figure out the best way to be a part of the program or part of the racing world and part of the industry and figure some stuff out. So we got a little bit of a late jump. We bought a bike from Jason Lee out of Indiana or something like that in February after I had to drop off one of my endurance bikes. So we got this program going, and we were trying to figure out the guy who had the money didn't want him to be like the title sponsor, and he wanted to go through a charitable act. And it came down to two groups. One was a group out of I think Tampa, Florida, that was giving back to veterans and Marines, like vet track days or something. It's a Freedom Riders Academy, and working with PTS people or PTSD people who needed to get out and do all this stuff. And then it was, I'm working a lot on that stuff. And then we found the TBEX, the bike experience group that I've been personally racing with through the N2 Weir stuff. I coached Mark at one of our champ schools and just saw all the stuff that went into it. And kind of from that moment when they were an option, we kind of knew that that was something that I wanted to do. Every time I'm in one of my hour stints and I go past one of the guys, I am absolutely out of my seat, cheering and rooting for these guys, throwing my hands up, rooting for them. There's a guy with one arm who's racing. We got some people that can't use their legs from down below, but they're using more of their upper body, having to use more brakes, and just teaching them the same way. So it was cool when Mark was out there. I sat in the center of the seat. I can't move my lower half. How am I going to teach you the same stuff that really matters? And it's, hey, we can't use our body as much. We got to use more brakes to still get this thing steered, and, really taking that approach. So it was one of those things that was kind of a blessing. And now all the money that we make goes through them. They get 5% of all the money that we make. So, really trying to get that word out there that the money's helping them. Yeah, it's helping me get onto the grid. But from what we've had from Barber, from taking our first time on track, we're already filling out and selling their classes. We had a guy come out who had a spinal cord injury, who hadn't ridden for 25 years, and got back on the motorcycle because he was watching the races and saw that this was something that was there, or the story that was part of it. And next thing you know, he took a 25-year hiatus from his accident. Next thing you know, he's on a bike, and now he signed up for a track day in July. And so there was another guy who was there for, another injury, and he was 11 years off, and kind of same thing. And so it's cool that that's what this program's for. And I think, I'd love to help everyone. I'd love to help the Freedom Riders Academy get the PTSD members out on the bike, because we work a lot with the military groups, and thankful for the people that protect and serve for our country to keep us and allowing us to do what we do. So it's one of those things where yes, I'd love to help them. I'm working with them on a personal level and all this stuff, and it's cool to just trying to shed some light to some people that I feel that need it the most. I love that I get to go race, but if it's bringing more light to other stuff, that's kind of the real goal. I've taken this time off from racing. Last year was the first year that I hadn't raced a national since Moto America started. I've been racing when it was AMA, and I went pro at 16. I don't even know what year that was, 2011, 2012, something like that. And I've taken this hiatus from racing when I got hooked up with the school. I'm making money riding motorcycles, but I'm getting more of the give back. I'm making these people actually realize that their dreams are achievable, and I think that was something that the bike experience, T-Bex, has made me feel the closest to. It's like I can continue to share that with these people that are there, who don't think that they can have this opportunity, and showing them that, hey, listen, you can do this too. Good friends with Cora, who is absolutely kicking ass
That's my
right.
girl. Yeah, that's my girl. I had her on the podcast. She's absolutely amazing, is she not?
Yeah. So, and it's like trying to do something where she, hopefully one day she had some meetings with, Moto America, the medical staff, and Moto America kind of approved of it right now, but the medical staff's giving them a little bit of a hard time because there's no procedures for what happens when there's someone when they can't move their legs and they fall off their motorcycle. What are you supposed to do? Red flag the thing. So we're trying to get this stuff moving in a way that these people can go ride, because I'll tell you, these guys and girls are high functioning individuals who are badasses, who need to show that they can. And it's maybe we find something for that, we go build a spec series and put them on for like when they do the 2-ups at lunch or whatever, and get them going in that way if we can't get them on the grid with them or something. But I feel like it's this thing that it doesn't matter what race, who you are, you can still ride your motorcycle no matter kind of what, within certain reasons. And it's, you're seeing a lot of these people really overcoming some of the biggest things. And that if they're strong enough to overcome that, they're a lot stronger than most people are. So they're willing to keep putting in the work. So it is kind of a crazy and feeling. And, it gives me goosebumps every time that we think about it. It's like, this is my purpose, right? This is one of those things where it's, I don't want to say I passed my prime, but it's like I'm not 16 years old anymore. I'm not this kid who's there. I think I have more shot at making some of these kids go somewhere. I've worked a lot with Ryder Davis, Marty Salam, and all these kids who are really, taking that next step. Watching Nathan Gauker, who's kicking ass. Hopefully he's healing up quick. Just had a pretty big off in one of his things. But these are the kids that are putting everything on the line. You're watching these kids get up at 5 o'clock and really work hard. And that was one of those things that, I'm just trying to distill into these. And, these people that part of the T-Bex crew already have that. So seeing them wanting to be that way, I feel like they're deserved it at a certain point.
110% cannot disagree. It's a beautiful thing, especially when you take somebody that's got one arm or got one leg that loved motorcycles, but they just can't think I just can't do it. I mean, look at me, right? And then they find this out, and it just brings a whole new happiness to their life, and it gives them a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Something to look forward to. It's absolutely amazing. And speaking of, we actually got Mark. Mark says, "What's up, Easy?"
Yes, sir. My man, Mark. Somebody.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll see him soon. All the guys, they're racing all over the country now, and it's great to see they're chasing championships. They're doing all this stuff, competing against normal people, right? And these people are normal too.
They're normal. Yeah.
They're stronger than anybody. So it's cool to see.
Facts.
It's Mark was the first person I got to work with. That's how I met Mike, part of the bike experience. And from there is just seeing them, watching them at all the race weekends, watching the progression, the way the classes are filling out and all this stuff. It's cool.
It's absolutely, and they're normal people, just like me and you.
Yep.
110%. They love just like we love. They cry just like we cry. I mean, there's nothing that separates them from us, right? Nothing. So, dude, Easy. I feel you, bro. You know what? I can't wait till me and you meet in real life. It's gonna happen. I promise you, it's gonna happen. 110%.
I've probably seen you multiple times now and haven't even ran into like. I've been at all the races for many years now, and it's like working in the paddock. I was a Dunlop tire fitter just so I could stay relevant in the paddock, be there, see my friends, because that's my family, right?
Yep.
it goes back. You said you want to know some things, and it's like, sometimes family isn't the people that are blood related, and these people at the racetrack have been more family than some of my real family has been.
110%. Listen, you guys just heard what he said. That's 110% fact. I feel the same way. I can't I can't disagree with you anymore on that. It's I don't disagree with you at all, but yes, you're right. It's dude, yeah, 100%. So listen, man, we got my man Dakari in the house. He says easy.
Sure.
Dakari is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Dude's such a great guy. Yeah. Mark says, I will see you at pit race in August.
Come on, buddy. Looking forward to that. That pit race is great. I'm bummed that Moto America took it off the schedule, but glad we're still going there. N2 runs a lot of track days out there. I was living with some of the N2 guys 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago now, and helping run the track days and stuff, and going out there. And Pittsburgh was just one of those places that was regularly on the schedule. I lived on the New Jersey PA border, like 4 or 5 hours from the house, and just get to go ride one of those magical racetracks. So yeah, it's looking forward to it, Mark.
Bro, living the dream, baby. Look at you, legend. Easy. I told you he was a legend, man. Listen to everything you're saying, dude. It's absolutely. My buddy Aaron says, I'm out. Easy. Keep up the good work, man. Perseverance pays off. It does. It really does.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Listen, man, dude, we're an hour into 57 minutes almost into this. We're gonna get to one of my favorite segments of the podcast. Don't worry, people. I know we hadn't really got real deep into Easy and his whole career path to where he is now, the instructor and all that. Trust me, part 2, 3, 4, and 5 is coming up, so you gotta stay tuned. We're gonna schedule it as soon as we get done with this. So listen, I want to get to my favorite part of the interview, Easy, and I want to get to know you personal, and as everybody else, right? That's listening, not just the racer family, everybody else. So listen, I'm gonna start it off with this one. Who's your favorite comedian?
Oh man, favorite comedian, man. Man, that's a tough one. I do like comedy. I mean, probably back in the day, I love the Dave Chappelle stuff. It was so off the wall. He could say whatever he wanted. I mean, I love the Dave Chappelle show, his movies, his skits. I mean, if anything, I probably have to go that one.
And listen, dude, they couldn't release that shit today. That shit would get shut down after the first episode. They'd be like, "What are you doing? You can't say that." Oh, yes, we can. Right? Yeah, you're right. It's man, I love Dave Chappelle too, man. He's absolutely awesome. Let me ask you this, dude. Are you a pineapple pizza guy?
I mean, yeah, yes. Pineapple goes on pizza. I'm sorry.
Facts. I'm with you. Listen, I like it.
Sweet and savory. It's not meant for everyone.
Yep.
But the people who enjoy it enjoy the finer things of life.
Have you ever tried fresh sliced pineapple with fresh jalapenos and like make a just like little like this and eat them together? Bro, it's so good.
I had a jalapeno pineapple kind of something at some point. One of the N2 guys, Jiggy, he made this moonshine that was ghost pepper and pineapples. The ghost pepper was not hot to eat, that was soaking in it. It was the pineapple that was like fire.
But that's awesome. So I take it you like spicy stuff?
I do like spicy stuff. I eat a lot of spicy stuff. I think that's the best way to season something up, is add a little heat to it.
Facts, right? So did you watch the hot ones on YouTube then?
I have not yet. No.
Easy. You got to watch the hot ones on YouTube. So it's cool, right? So this guy sits down, he interviews celebrities, and there's 10 chicken wings from the mild to like 3.4 million Scoville's the hottest one, right? And he asks a question, you eat a wing, ask a question. But anyway, the reason why I asked that is because I get the last dab, which is the hottest bottle they have on there, and I absolutely love it. Is it hot? You fucking right, it's hot. But sometimes when you get something easy and it's so hot, it's like, oh my God, I can't even enjoy what the fuck I'm eating now because it's that hot, right? I'm not gonna lie, it's hot, but the flavor's really good, and I still really enjoy my food when I eat it. But it's one of those hot sauces easy that like you got to be in the mood to eat, if you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying, because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
on that like the upper deck level of it. So
I mean, I like.
abs-
There's times where I like my food hot enough that it's like making me sweat when I'm eating it. So it's like I get it, but it has to be that it can't just be a pungent of heat. It actually has to have some flavor to it as well.
facts, 110%. And look, dude, we got another legend in the house, bro. My man Shane Maggs, bro. He says, "Easy, see you this weekend, brother. One of my favorite moments of endurance racing is always you passing me on the rear wheel." Oh, that's
My
awesome.
Yeah, it's great
Dude,
to see him out there. Did a great job at Barber. Really kicked some ass. You know, it's cool to see these people who are we race with at the club level and watching them go to the national stage and just really keep chipping away and keep working hard. And that's what it is, man. We were all there. We all went did that little step, those steps, and putting everything in, and it's cool to see. So,
it is. Dude, Shane's awesome. I met him. I had him on the podcast, and I met him in Atlanta earlier this year at the first round for some of Moto America's Daytona, but the real first round for
the first.
everybody yeah, it is Atlanta, and I finally got to meet him. Man, it was nothing but hugs, and yeah. So I gave him a T-shirt, right, and I was like, bro, I want to buy a T-shirt. He's like, no, mate, dude, you support me, I support you. I was like, bro, listen. I want to buy your t-shirt, bro. And I want to support. This is me supporting you. Yes, I have you on my podcast. I'm having you back on. That's a lot too, right? But dude, I just want to help you. And yeah, so I bought a shirt. I wear it on the podcast sometimes. So big shout out to Shane. And Easy, you will get a t-shirt too.
Sweet.
Absolutely. But yeah, okay. Listen, I'm gonna ask you just a couple more questions because we're running a little bit over an hour on this. Um, let me ask you this. Do you know about the TT? Are you a big follower of the Isle of Man?
Yeah, I don't get enough. I don't get to watch it enough, but I absolutely love to go watch the races. I wish I could watch more of the practice days and stuff. But yeah, absolutely a huge fan.
Me too. Dude. Listen, if it's my favorite race of the year, hands down, it is. I tell people it's the most beautiful thing you're ever going to see in your life.
Yep.
Absolutely, not Coda, not Magello, the Isle of Man TT, the Northwest 200, the Ulster GP, the Macau. I mean, I can go on and on. You can tell I'm a big road racer fan, right? So I'm a diehard. To me, it's just, man, it's just nothing like it. So listen, I got two questions. One, you kind of got to know, well, you do have to know your history on it, but I'm going to ask it to you anyway, right? So listen, in 1961, Honda won their very first TT race. Who was the rider?
Yeah, that's not something I'm gonna know.
Mike the Bike Hellwood, baby.
Like the bike, hell, all
Mike
right.
the Bike. Yeah. So Mike, listen, this is my next question. I can't even talk. My next question for you. In your personal opinion, who had the greatest TT comeback, right? And dude, listen, the list is really long, but I'm only going to give you two names, okay? And out of these two names, you can pick Connor Cummings or Ian Hutchinson.
That's the.
It's a tough one, I know.
I can't even give a true. I mean, because you like I said, it's like I'm a fan, and you have to admire both, and it's like uh, maybe maybe Hutchinson,
Okay,
maybe.
okay. Yeah, well, yeah, those questions are kind of geared to, I guess, a TT nut like myself, right? That knows that, yeah. But they're great questions, and they all got great stories of comebacks. Like,
Yeah,
most of them are injury related. Some people say they never ride again. They come back, they ride, and they won again. But to me, out of all of them, man, like I think Mike the Bike Hellwood probably had the greatest TT comeback. And this is the only reason why I say this. I'm not saying Connor Cummins without his injuries, dude. People don't realize the sacrifice, how much he had to work his ass off just to get back to where he is, right? But Mike the Bike, bro, stopped racing for 11 years at the TT, comes back and wins. I mean, think about that. That's different than hey, I'm going to Daytona 200. I'm going to stop and come back 11 years and win the Daytona 200. It is absolutely
No,
nothing like road racing, right? Think about how much the roads changed. There's new houses. The braking markers are different because the speeds are a lot. The tires are different. The helmets, the suits. It's such. There's so much new stuff to it. Um, bro, that's just proper mega, right? I mean, come on, that's proper mega. So listen to another question I want to ask you. I'm big into books. Like I don't read a lot, but I listen to a lot of audio books. And yes, 99.9% of them is road racing. No bullshit, right? And one of the best ones is John Hopkins Leathered. But this one right here, I am reading, and it's sent to me by my friend Andy Ibbett. Do you know who Andy Ibbett is?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, you got to look him up. He's an absolute legend, dude. He raced, he worked in the paddock. He still works in the paddock. Well, he don't right now, but dude, he he uh he trained Valentino Rossi, not train him through like his whole career, but he
Throughout.
mentored him. He come a rider coach. He was his rider coach for a little while. Think about that. But anyway, he has this book out. It's called Performance Riding Techniques, and it's kind of like Keith Code's Twist of the Wrist 1 and 2. But all MotoGP. It's absolutely an amazing book. And the last one I just got done listening to is The Ragged Edge by Stuart. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. Hang on real quick. It's about the TT. Easy. I highly recommend. That's a good book you should download and listen to. It's called The Ragged Edge by Stuart Barker.
All right. I do like some podcasts and putting on some books and listening to some stuff. So
Good, good. And listen, dude, we have another legend in the house, man. My man, Ethan, dude. He says Easy needs to be in the paddock 25-8 as lead vibes coordinator. Right. Hope y'all are doing good, big dog. Yeah, man. Listen, I just ran into my good buddy Ethan and Road America. Man, I wish I had more time to actually like hang out with my friends. Everybody's so busy in the paddock. They got jobs to
yep.
do. And I understand that. So when I see him, it's like, I just want to give you a hug real quick. Say, man, it's an absolute honor to see you again. Let's catch up later, right? And
Yeah.
basically that's, yeah. I mean, just because everybody's so busy,
I think it's tough. And speaking of this, and we talk about this working so much at school, it's like we're always on the grind and always working, working, working. And that's what race weekends are. I feel like we should do like a race, like a cruise at the end of the year or something with everyone that we love from the paddock, and we just go somewhere. Like,
right. Yeah, I'm with it.
we never enjoy each other truly in the paddock because we're always working, and it's like you never want to be a bag of shit the next day. You want to be making sure that you're on point and all this stuff, and it's like because you put too much money and effort and time to be there, so it's making that something a little more to enjoy. So because life is enjoying.
Listen, if you listen to my podcast, you can hear me say this all the time. None of us are strangers. We're just friends that haven't met yet, right? And that's something I firmly believe. And I also like to say that we all in our lives that we're in, it's so fast paced, just like we're at the track day to day. I mean, even if you wake up, you go to work, come home, it's everybody falls in this routine, right? But this is what I challenge everybody every day from here on out. Take just 1 minute, even if it's just 1 minute. Stop what you're doing, whether you're watching TV, you're driving to the grocery store, you're at work. I'm on a podcast with my man Easy. Take this moment and live in this moment. Take it all in because it's something you'll never get back. You can't pause it, you can't fast forward it, and you cannot rewind it, right? And I think that if everybody did that on a daily basis, your mental state would be a lot happier, right? Because you feel more satisfied. I mean, and that's just a fact, right? So this is my challenge to everybody out there every day, even if it's for 30 seconds, just stop, take it in, enjoy it, live. Even if you're in the fucking suck at work, like this shit sucks. I just want to clock out and go home. Listen, enjoy that suck. Enjoy that moment. For real. Facts, dude. Easy, I'm telling you know it, right? And that's a great idea. That's something that yeah, me and you need to we will talk for
We need
sure.
to facilitate that for sure.
Yeah. We are on to something. Yes, we will. But listen, dude, this has been a lot of fun. I'm gonna ask you one more question, before we get off here, I'm gonna let you give all your shout outs, how people can find you, sign up to your school, all that good stuff. Celebrity crush, Easy. Who's your celebrity crush?
Man.
Oh no, he froze up. All right, let me
Oh,
see.
oh, you're there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
here. I lost you there for a second.
yeah, me too. But yeah, probably my favorite celebrity crush right now is Miss Carol G. You know, Latino pop singer, just smoking hot, good music, just
Facts.
got it going on.
Got it. The vibes too, right? The vibes is a big thing
Oh,
too. Because
oh.
I'm a big vibe person, you know. It's
About energies, my friend.
it is. It is. It's good energy. Yeah. So listen, man, this has been an absolute honor. It's been so much fun. So I said you never know where it's gonna take us.
Yeah.
This has been an awesome chat, man. Listen, awesome chat, Chris and Easy. Chris. So listen, Easy, I ain't gonna lie, I actually misspelt your name, right? And then Chris hit me up on Facebook Messenger. He's like, bro, you misspelt his name. And listen, this is why, because when I come back from Road America, man, we drove to Virginia, but we had to drive to West Virginia at work to pick up my car, and I'm 4 hours from West Virginia. But when we left, dude, we got in some traffic through Chicago, bro, and it was fucking miserable. It was like 2 hours at 20 miles an hour, and I'm like,
I,
yeah,
I saw
yeah,
some pictures from everybody leaving, and I heard it was out of control.
dude. Yeah, and then once we get past Ohio, man, we got in this fog at nighttime to where like I couldn't see in front of it because my buddy took his big ass Winnebago camper. It was the first time he driving one. Well, we on the way up there and on the way back we split, but man, it's foggy and I can't see shit. Literally 5 feet in front of me. That's it. So I'm doing another 15, 20 miles an hour for another 2 hours. So we left at I can't remember what time we left, but we ended up getting to West Virginia at like 6:15 in the morning. And I had woke up 7:30 Sunday morning, right? So I've already been up for 12 hours almost. So I drive straight to Roanoke. That's another 4 hours. And then I stayed up. I didn't go to bed till 10 o'clock last night. So I was up for 26 hours or something like that, right? My adrenaline was still going the whole night. But this is when I created our event. And I was super tired and I created it. And Chris sent me, he's like, bro, dude, you misspelled his name. I was like, shit, let me go back and correct it real quick. Yeah. So that's where that come from. I did, but he says, awesome chat. Thank you so much. Listen, Easy, this has been an absolute honor. I can't wait for part 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just stay on with me for here in a minute. But before we get off here, Easy, give all your shout outs. Tell people how they can find you, how they can meet you, how they can come to the school and have a proper mega time.
Right on. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Chris. If you're looking to get at me, first off, I got to give a big round of applause to the bike experience, Mike, Chris, for writing in these articles, giving these people the light that they need, Alpha Omega, Roller Die Informing, Pit Lane Moto, who's helping us out, KWS, who's built all my bikes and really been a huge supporter and someone who I can just kind of go up to even in mid weekends, and Mike Godin's Kayla Yakov's crew chief. So it's great that I can just go up to him and get information when I need. And I have to thank Dunlop and I have to thank the school for giving me all these tools to keep succeeding and keep pushing me forward and really having my back at the end of the day. And if anyone's looking for me, my Instagram is the letter EZ my name's Eziha Davis. I'm not going to put out my phone number, but I'm pretty easily accessible. Just get a hold of me. You can reach me any way that you need, or you can reach me out at Eziha@champschool.com. That's my personal one with the school, and that's my business chat where we're always answering questions and stuff from students and all that stuff. So I appreciate it, Chris. It's been a pleasure. I'm really looking forward to some more, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely proper mega man. And thank you. It is. And I got to give my shout outs too. So the first one I want to give is my man Martin at the Clothing King. So all my European friends can go to theclothingking.co.uk and get any Pendergast merch you want. Hats, t-shirts, the whole nine. It's absolutely amazing. And look at this, dude. We got another legend in the house. My man Lizzie Whitmore. What is up? Only just caught the end of this one. I'll make sure to go back and listen. Easy sounds like a cool young man. So if you guys don't know who my friend Lizzie Whitmore is, she's a BSB legend. She's actually racing in the FIM All Women's Cup, and she is teammates with another friend of mine, Mallory Dobbs. So let's go. So yes, dude. She listen. Lizzie is absolutely amazing. I met her and her dad Steve at BSB. We actually tried to do a podcast there, but and I tried to in Atlanta, but the signals at racetrack, man, just straight up suck ass unless you got a freaking the Elon Musk Starlink, right? I'm really thinking about getting that because then I can just carry it with me and you don't have that issue. But yeah, dude, it's absolutely so listen again, Bison, anybody, whether you're a track day rider, a racer, Isle Man TT rider, a street day junkie, a track day junkie, whatever it is, look no further than Bison. Don't buy the off rack suit. Trust me, you want the custom suit. You'll thank me later. Another one, RD Racing, BSB, my man Jake Marsh. He has a Club 45. Please show all the love and support to him. Sign up. If you have trouble signing up, get in touch with me. I'll put you in direct contact. This is a new one. It's the first time anybody's heard about this. So Flying Eyes Optics sunglasses. These are the lightest sunglasses I have ever tried on. You know, you buy Oakleys or whatever and you try them on. They're bulky, they're plastic. You wear a hat, they're stiffed on, they go up underneath your hat, they hurt your ear. You're out there sweating easy, right? The hat's on, they're uncomfortable. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It is, but check these out. Like, right? These things are so light, they actually grip your head. You can wear them up underneath your helmet. You can wear them with the headphones on. It don't matter. Like, I literally had these on from when I met this guy to Flying Eyes Optics. When I met him, he gave me these glasses. He said, look, try them out. Tell me your real opinion, what you think about them. The whole weekend, I didn't take them off my face until it was dark time, right? And it was a point to where I actually forgot I had sunglasses on because I wish you was standing here. Everybody, I took them to work today, and I was like, dude, try these glasses on. And they're like, holy shit, that's the first thing they said. These things they don't weigh anything in the arms. And yeah. So anyway, you guys check them out. Flying Eyes Optics. You can use the discount code PIN2GAS10 and get 10% off, right? So what are you waiting on? Of course, SFL Mini GP, bro. I cannot thank them enough. Juju Carrera, absolutely in the British Talent Cup. If anybody's in Florida, dude, getting it right, easy. Come on, let's go, right? Dude, straight up, dude, legend. So listen, if anybody you don't even have to be in Florida. To me, SFL Mini GP is absolute one of the best organizations we have in America. Yes. And the reason why I say that, and I've said it 100 times, there is no bullshit excuses. Leave that shit at home when you show up. All you need to do is show up, register. He provides the bikes. You can rent a bike. You can rent suits, jackets. There's no excuse. You leave them at home. Show up. No excuse. So listen, anybody around, it don't matter what age you are. You 70 years old. You always want to learn how to drag your knee. Guess what? Look no further than the SFL Mini GP. No bullshit, dude. Your kid's 4 or 5. You want to get him or her out there on the track. Again, SFL Mini GP. Pin to gas, baby. Let's go. What are you waiting on? I mean, it's absolutely awesome. And one more thing before we go, Chef Eats. I know you guys out there on the track, you're hungry. Not a lot of people eat healthy at the track because you got not a lot of time. It's hot dogs and hamburgers and all that. But trust me, look out no further than Chef Eats. Look them up. Do you know about Chef Eats?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you already know then. See, Easy knows. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. Anytime you go to the track, a lot of times you'll see Chef Eats everywhere because his food is absolutely amazing, right? I hooked up with him. He actually sent me 6 free meals. And, when you get stuff like I've tried HelloFresh and all this, and you're skeptical, especially once you try one or two, you're like, yeah, it's really not that good for the price, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, Chef Eats, dude, I got a chicken primavera. I got a Philly cheesesteak omelet, and it's all super healthy. You can get it with no salt. I mean, he does low cal, dude. He meal preps however you want your diet, pretty much, You want just protein, fish, whatever it is, look no further than Chef East. 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the microwave. The healthiest dish at your local racetrack. Straight up. Not the food over there, not your hot dogs you're throwing on the grill. Chef East, baby. Let's go. Listen, guys, this has been a lot of fun. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to let Easy go, but you guys stay tuned for part 2, 3, 4, and 5. Easy, again, it's been an absolute honor, my man. Thank you so much for coming on. And everybody that watched this, thank you guys so much. You know I love you guys dearly. All my friends racing, nothing but love. And if you haven't had a chance yet, please go to my channel, like and subscribe. I'm out everywhere but Apple right now because I need to buy a new computer. So one day I'll get one, right? Well, I'm struggling too. The struggle is real, right? But I'm here. We're doing it. We're making it happen. I love you guys, and I will see you soon. Until next time, thank you guys so much. Easy, bro.
Thanks, brother.
Absolute honor, man.